Hello, Instagram. So today is Thursday, and I am here today to be joined again by Lisa Wood from Your English Self. And today we're going to be talking about something very special that many of the clients I have worked with have certainly struggled with, and that is having a consistent study routine. So while I'm waiting for Lisa to come and join, in fact, I'm just going to invite her, that might be quicker. The routine is something which is really important anyway. And a little while ago, I read this great book called Routine Machine. And Routine Machine really inspired me to create better routines for myself, not just for studying, but also for working. And today, Lisa and I are going to be talking about routine in your study planning and study habits. Hello, Lisa. How are you?
Good morning. Fine, thanks.
Morning.
How are you? I believe you're on holiday.
I'm working all day today. I haven't got a holiday.
No Jubilee for you.
No, no Jubilee for me. My partner's got 4 days off work, so he's really happy. But I've got students and I've got a list of things to do, which is just a little bit too long.
Yeah. Language learning goes on. It doesn't stop for the Queen.
No, nothing stops. No, that's right. Cool. So, Lisa, we're going to be talking about routines and stuff today. So, just very quickly for you on a personal note, how important is routine for you in your life?
Yeah, it's super important. Um, I think without routine, we can get lost along the way, and it makes things much more difficult to get done.
Mm,
I really like to have clear what I need to do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and to wake up knowing exactly what I need to do. I think the less the less friction we create in our lives, the easier it is to stick to a routine.
mm,
So if we know what we're doing, we can immediately get on with it, and I think a routine really helps to create momentum,
mm.
so to keep us moving forward. And when we have momentum, when we keep moving forward, we see progress because we get things done.
Mm.
And when we get things done, we feel more motivated. So I
Yeah,
think it's a circle.
yeah, I would agree with that. And I think also sometimes people worry about creating a routine because, sometimes we have this idea that we should be inspired to do things and we should do things when we're in the mood to do them. But the danger of that is that you're never feeling inspired and you're never really in the mood. And so things don't happen. So routine is a really important part of making progress, like you said, and having that momentum and not stopping. For things like the Jubilee, because why would you stop your routine for the Jubilee weekend? That would be crazy.
Exactly.
So today, Lisa and I thought that we would share 2 tips each on creating study routines and how you can start to do that. And my first tip is to be realistic. So a lot of the language learners that I have worked with, they have big goals, and that's fantastic. Um, but they don't always think about how how they can realistically work towards those goals in their lives. So, for example, if you have a job and a kid and a dog, and you spend 2 hours of your day commuting to work, your time for studying is going to be quite small. And I think the first thing in creating a routine is to really look at your life, not your teacher's life, not someone else's life, but your life, and really think, okay, what can I do and where can I do it? And it's all about making the most of times like commuting because you can listen or you can read, but also being aware of the fact that you might be really tired in the evening, or your kid might need help with their homework. So really, really thinking about what time you have available and what times work best for you, and really taking ownership of that, and not doing stuff just because someone else, like me, says that you should do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're really you're right there that we often compare ourselves to other people, don't we? So we think if they're doing that, I should do that, and we don't consider that our situation is completely different. And then I think sometimes when we can't fit things into our lives, then we become stressed. And obviously, if we're stressed, that's no good for learning. So yeah, I really recommend that you are totally realistic with the time that you have. I recently recommended to a student of mine who felt a little frustrated. She was she's very motivated and very demanding of herself because she wants to learn English. So she committed to doing an activity for a certain time every day. And when she couldn't do that, she felt very frustrated and got demotivated. So I recommended that she instead of 30 minutes, for example, she decided to do the activity for 15 minutes a day. And if she was able to do it for more, then that was just a bonus. And she could congratulate herself and say, well done. So I think, we have to, I know we're motivated and we want to do things, but we do have to be realistic where, we all have other commitments, and it's a matter of fitting language learning into our lives and not the opposite way round. Like you said, making the most of the time that we have, maybe when we're commuting, and whether we prefer to work in the morning or in the afternoon. Where some of us are night owls and some of us are early birds. I'm not an early bird. I'm more of a night owl. So yeah, I totally agree. Which kind of fits in with my first tip, which is planning ahead. So setting yourself small goals which take you forward to achieving your big goal. And again, being realistic with those goals. So not setting goals which you don't have time to do. So setting yourself small daily goals or weekly goals, and then sticking to those goals because they're realistic goals. I do like, I have, what was it called? I wrote it down here. That was it. I use this book a lot. I don't know if you know it, Sarah. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Okay. It's fantastic. I recommend it to all my teacher friends and all my students. He mentions something in the book called an implementation intention. And it's a very simple strategy for setting an intention, something that you want to do, that you plan to do. And it's like a formula. And it says, I will, and then what you want to do, at what time, and where you're going to do it. And it's a super simple strategy, but I use it a lot. And I was thinking today, it kind of relates to our sessions, for example. Going live on Instagram is something that I tend to avoid because it's not my favorite activity, because sometimes I get a little nervous, but now it's part of my routine. I know that I will go live with Sarah every other week at 10 o'clock in my office, for example. And, and I also recommend writing that down, because if we write something down, we're more likely to do it, to commit to it. So I think my first tip ties in with your first tip, being realistic about time and then setting our intentions, our goals with the time that we have.
Yeah. Okay. So before I kind of give a quick response, Imadara 3, I know that you asked to join the live video. I can see that you've requested to join. I'm not quite sure, Lisa and I, do we have time today? Imadara, do you want to maybe put a question into the comments bit? And if we can respond in this live video, we will. And if not, I'll respond to your comment afterwards, because I like I said, I was actually writing out my list of stuff to do today. And I was like, this is never going to fit into 8 hours. So Imadara, I'm really grateful for you asking to join. It's lovely. But I think Lisa and I, both of us today, were on a little bit of a tight time schedule. Lisa, is that true for you too?
Yes, and we did want to keep this short, so because we know that people are busy and they don't have time to listen to long videos, so we do want to keep it short. But please do share your question.
Yeah, absolutely. Put questions in, and if we can't answer them now, one or the other of us will get back to them later on. That's a promise.
Definitely, sure. Definitely. Yes, definitely.
So, yeah,
do you want to share your second tip?
Yes. So this is something that I say to myself. And as I was saying before you joined, I also read an amazing book called Routine Machine, which I would recommend. It's probably readable to anyone from B2 and above, I would say. And it's a brilliant book which is all about the power of routines. And the guy who wrote it is obsessed with routine, and his whole life is organized. And it sounds really boring. You're like, where is there room for creativity? Where is there room to, be inspired? But the point is that when you create those routines, you're more productive, you're more efficient, and actually there is more time for the things like meditation, dog walks, reading. You actually create more time. And when I started making these routines for myself, sometimes I would break them because I'd be like, no, it's a nice day. I want to go for a walk now. And I would go and I would break my routine, and that would affect the whole day. So what I now say to myself is respect the routine, because I know that at the beginning of the week, I made a plan, and my week is better when I stick more or less to that plan. So when you have got your study plan and your study routine, respect it, because it's very easy to say, not in the mood, I'm just going to do something else, or I'm really tired, I'm tired for today. And when we do that, we don't follow our routine, and everything suffers as a result. So as much as possible, respect the routine that you create for yourself.
Yeah, I really like that. And I think one thing that we could tag on to that is when you respect your routine and you've stuck to your plan, then you get your reward. So then you get to go for your walk. Then you get to do whatever it is, have a piece of chocolate or whatever your reward is. So I really like the idea of rewarding ourselves when we do stick to our plan and manage to be consistent, because I think it's important. It's very easy for us to beat ourselves up and to say negative things to ourselves, and we quite often forget to stop and congratulate ourselves and say, well done, I did it.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. Yeah. So really good tip. Mm-hmm. And then, well, my final tip is enjoy it. If you don't like doing, our brains are unique. We're all unique. We like different things. We have different interests. We like doing different activities. Try and fit those in with your language learning. Do things that you enjoy anyway in your life as part of your language learning routine. So, if you like reading, read in English. If you like listening to podcasts about a particular topic, I don't know, history, geography, music, listen to them in English. Because if it's something that you're already interested in, then it will be much easier to be consistent and to do it because we do what we enjoy doing. So I would say that. And I actually listen to a lot of advice from polyglots because I think polyglots have a very interesting take on language learning because these are people who are learning or have learned lots of languages successfully. So often they have better ideas than teachers sometimes because not all teachers are language learners. I know that we are, so we can see it from both sides as a language learner and a teacher. But polyglots, one very interesting interview I listened to by a polyglot. She said the one thing that they have in common is that they all look for what they enjoy. So they don't all learn a language the same, but they all learn successfully by doing what they enjoy. For some of them, that's reading. For some of them, that's listening. For some of them, that's chatting online to people in a different language. But they all do what they enjoy, and that helps them to be consistent. And when they wake up every day, it's just part of their daily routine. So it's become a habit, and they don't have to stop thinking, oh, now I need to study, because they're actually enjoying what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. And I would just add to that probably the most proficient learners that I've ever worked with are the ones who read a lot, listen a lot, talk a lot, chat a lot. They're the ones who really, like you say, enjoy doing stuff in English. It's not about learning grammar rules. It's not about understanding reported speech. Who even cares about reported speech? It's so boring. But go and read something, go and watch something, go and have a conversation with someone. And that is really how you learn. And if you can integrate those skills into your language learning routine, whether you're doing it for fun or an exam, you'll learn so much more and you will enjoy it all at the same time.
And you will learn about reported speech, the present perfect, past simple, just in a different way. I think the problem is we're very stuck in our ways sometimes, and that's how we did it when we were at school, and that's the only way we know how to do it now. So again, it's a bit like what we were talking about the last time we met. The difference between coaching and teaching, and looking at different ways of learning. It's not just about opening your textbook and working your way through grammar activities. So yeah.
Cool. So, if you have been watching this live video, or if you're watching it later, we'd really love to know which of these tips you might work with to create a study routine for yourself. And also, like we said earlier, if you have got any questions about this, or even if you disagree, that's totally fine. I'm all for being disagreed with. That's fine with me. So please do leave your comments and leave your questions under this video, and we will be very, very happy to give you guys a hand or answer them as you post them. And I guess what we'd also like to know before we finish, Lisa, is what people want us to talk about next. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Because actually, this topic came from people out there, didn't it? From language learners who asked us. This was something that they were finding difficult. So yeah, we would love to talk about what you want us to talk about, not just what we want to talk about.
No, if it's just us, we might just talk about chocolate and dogs. So any questions that you guys have got about language learning, whether that's learning efficiently or happily or dealing with anxiety and stress, all that kind of stuff, please do let us know. You can direct message either of us. If you don't want to leave your question in public, that's fine too. And we will be back in 2 weeks' time, I think, 9 o'clock on the 16th of June. I think that will be.
16th of June. And yes, 1 o'clock for me.
All right. Lisa, have a lovely, lovely day.
Yes, you too, even though you're not celebrating the Jubilee.
Yeah. And everyone who watched, thank you very much for watching.
Yes, thank you very much for everybody. I don't follow the comments. I find it really hard to follow the comments and speak at the same time. I'm sorry to people if I ignored any comments.
Okay, Lisa. See you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.